Hey gang, it's Joe from Odyssey TV here. We get a lot of questions about the FL250 flywheels and the stators. If you look at this flywheel, this is a points flywheel. It has the centrifugal weights and the giant spacings between the magnets. 1980, which is still points, looks just like this. No spaces between the magnets, but it has the centrifugal weight assembly. Okay, what a lot of guys do is they take the 1980 flywheel, they take all this out because there's two screws here that hold, or clips that hold the weights in, and they grind the studs down flat, and they try to put these on to sell on eBay as a CDI flywheel. It's not, because it won't work, because the key slot is in a different position, and it makes the time, it throws the timing off. So the 81 to 84, the CDI flywheel has no spaces between the magnets, nothing in the center, nothing ground away, 4 studs. This is obviously a bad flywheel. It doesn't have all 4 studs. So that's that. That's an 81 to 84 CDI flywheel. A lot of guys call and they say they're testing their stator and they spin the motor. You don't spin the motor to test the stator. Coming out of the motor is 4 wires. This is for CDI only. Yellow is the lights, red and black is the ignition, green is the ground, and blue is the pulse coil. So, yellow, I'm going to show you how to test the lighting coil with an ohm meter. You're going to get a very low reading, 0.9, 1.0, because the wire is so heavy. Green is ground. The ignition coil on your stator could be anywhere from 210 to 260. If you got that reading, there's nothing wrong with it, unless it shorts out after it gets hot, but that's a different story. The blue and yellow, or blue and white, some people call it, that's the pulse coil. Should be anywhere from 35 to 45 ohms. All right, so that's the 4 wires. And obviously the ground has the lug on the back to screw it to the back of the stator plate. So, the ohm meter. This is the best meter for the money. It's made by Harbor Freight. The model is Centec 61593. The reason it's good is because it's got a continuity tester that beeps. It's got a 200 ohm scale for your low coil readings, everything under 200, the lighting coil included, these two. And then you got the 2K reading because this is over 200. So I'm going to show you that now. Okay, so we're on 200. This is my aftermarket pulse coil, 40 ohms. That is a perfectly good pulse coil. Now, .9, 0.7, even that's good. Nothing wrong with that. Oh no, 2K. Sorry, 243. Okay. Another thing you need to know: the ones that are made by MGO that you see on eBay, 16 bucks. They don't work. There's another one there on eBay. I can't think of the name of the company. Another thing you need to know, that the Odysseys are notorious for bad grounds. What you should do is add from the back of your pull starter bolt, put a longer bolt through your pull starter with a lock nut, with a nylock lock nut on the back side. Bolt this to the back of the pull starter and this to the frame. The Odysseys are notorious for bad grounds, causing spark problems. Another thing a lot of people don't realize is that the spark plug cap, there's a fuse in here. So one of the first things you do if you got no spark is unscrew it, because if you look at it, unscrews. You see the little pointy thing in there? That's what screws into the wire.
Oh yeah.
So you unscrew it, cut 1/4 inch off the coil wire because it might just be a bad connection. Screw it back on, and then try it. And then oh, that's what the continuity tester is good for. Testing this. You put one end in here, one in there, and if it doesn't beep, you know this is blown.
Right.
So a lot of times it's not even your coil, it's just the bad cap. The point stators I'm not going to get into because everybody's just getting away from them. The biggest problem with them is bad ground. You could add another wire to the back of the stator, the point stator, the screw on the back where the wire is screwed to. These are my reproduction stator plates. So you would add another ground, run it through the rubber grommet on the motor, run it to the frame. So now you have, because they're notorious, the early Odysseys for bad grounds. That little 4-inch wire, that green 4-inch wire behind the driver's seat, it's garbage. Throw it away. If not, you test the coils with your continuity tester. And you know, the rest is, it's either wiring, ground, or bad points, or bad coil, you know. Ignition coil, it's really basic. Most customers that have the early Odysseys just make all new harnesses because it's just easier, because the wiring is so old and for so many years being down on lowered to the ground, they get absorbed with water that the copper just turns green inside the wiring. It actually gets absorbed through the casing, and that's it. As long as you got good ground, you got good points, condenser, everything's clean. You know, the point systems are pretty much foolproof. It's either ground wiring or bad points for condenser, you know. There's no, a lot of times the point stators, you got to actually take the coils off the stator plate, the back side where it mounts to the stator plate. You wire wheel these. What I do is I wrap the part that you don't want damaged, and you graze it. You don't shoot it directly. You graze it, and you blow it all off. You get the rust off. You take high temperature automotive clear coat, which you can buy at the auto parts. Okay. And you just lightly coat it, put it back on the stator plate. You're good to go.
Good to go.
Yeah, as long as it's not damaged. You know, as long as the coil itself is good. But right. You got to wrap. You got to protect the windings. So now people should know how to test, you know, the components. So between the green ground and the red and black, anywhere from 210 to 255 or 260, that's the ignition. Between the yellow, which is the lighting, and the green ground, anywhere from 0.8 to 1.5 for the lights, for the lighting. And the blue with the white stripe, I say white, yellow, whatever, it should be anywhere from 35, 37 to 45. Ohms. Between this, ohms, and the ground. Everything's ohms. So that's it for the stators. I hope that clears it up for some people.
The flywheels. Yeah,
the flywheels and how to test the components. You could always call me or email me at atv.com. We're always constantly creating and bringing more products to the market for the Odyssey series ATVs.
All right.
Thank you.